Stop talking, everybody now. Okay, now a quick recap what we did yesterday. See, yesterday's class we were talking about waterfall model, correct? We saw how exactly the process should be in terms of developing a software. And what is the process we saw? We started like this. The very first step where the requirement is gathered. And in that requirement document, specifications are given about what all features needs to be developed. Who gives this requirement? Customer. Now once this requirement is given, the next step what we saw in the previous session was we need to do feasibility study. What is feasibility study? Analyze practically can you build every feature for the requirement given. It should not be that the requirement is imaginary and practically it cannot be executed, right? Then after that, I went and told you about design in a high level way, like how you construct a house. Looking at the design and constructing a house is easy. Similarly, looking at the design and writing code will be much easy. Is that clear? So we look at the design, write the code. Once the coding is done, we do what? Testing. Once testing is done, everything is fine. We do what? Installation. And once the installation is done, that is where then we start off with ideally what? Maintenance. I hope like you guys are clear with this now. Okay. Now, what is today's class agenda now? Exploring design. What is design? How do we come up with design? We're going to start with that now. So again, design, there are two types. One, high level design, and two, low level design. Let's quickly look at what is the importance of design now. Why should I come up with design? Who comes up with a design? Yesterday I told you that technical architect plus senior developer. They ideally come up with what? Design. Now concentrate here. Let me give you a very simple scenario. Imagine you're all developers, right? And I will give you a very big requirement document, 2000 pages requirement. Let's say there are 4 people here supposed to develop software. I'll give one copy of requirement to employee 1, second copy of requirement to employee 2, third copy to third employee, and the fourth copy to the fourth employee. Now that 2000 pages of requirement looks just like your foreign author textbook. You read, you understand. The more you read, you misunderstand. Right? Reading, misunderstanding. And by the time you read the last page, 1999 pages they will forget. That's not the way to understand what kind of software needs to be developed. Because if I give them a requirement, everybody will understand in different way. There will not be any uniformity at all. I want to make sure that these guys, they're clear with what they should develop. And to get that clarity, I cannot give them a big book of requirement, which is again just like your foreign author book. So what I decided to come up with design. How do I come up with design? Let's assume everybody in the class, you are developers. Who are you? Sit like developers. Sit properly. Yes, where is your ID card? Okay. You're all developers now. Who am I? Master. Customer. Useless fellow. I'm technical architect. For designing well, where customer will come into picture. Monkey fellow. Customer will come for designing is done by. Correct. So I am technical architect and you are developers. And I have to make you understand what kind of software you have to develop. What I need to make you understand? What kind of software you have to develop. So what software I want? Very simple. I want a reporting software. And that is for online business. So everybody concentrate here. Okay. So I'm going to come up with HLD, which is a block diagram. Imagine these people are all end users. End users in the sense who will purchase the product online. Right? We are coming up with reporting software for what? Online business. E-commerce portal. They're all the customers who will now purchase product online. Okay. And out here, you see, these are my company's servers. What are these things? Company's server. Now, any of this user buying clothes, let's say it's shopping for clothes online, all that transaction will be recorded here. You're buying electronic item, all transactions will be recorded here. You buy books, everything will be recorded here. Which means this end user is buying books. So the transaction will be recorded here. The same end user is buying clothes. The transaction will be recorded here. This end user is buying electronic items. Transaction recorded in this server. The same person buying books, transaction recorded here, clothes out here. Did you get this first flow? Based on what kind of product you are purchasing, transaction will get recorded in the respective server. Okay. Then from the server, I will pull the record. Okay, what I'm going to do? From the server, I'll pull the record and give you a graphical output. For example, author A, this was the sales. Author B, this is the sales. Author C, this is the sales. Did you get the whole flow? The whole flow is now based on what they are purchasing. Details should get recorded in the respective server. From that server, pull up the record and give me a graphical output. Give me what? A graphical output. It's a high level description of what you need to develop now. So I wanted to develop a reporting software in this way that based on the transaction done, details gets recorded to the server, pull that up and give me graphical output. Clear? Yes, everybody sure? Now, see how I'm explaining the developers. You forgot who you are. Who are you? Gajni. Short-term memory loss. Who are you guys? Developers. Did you understand now? If the same thing I give you as a big book, read and understand this, will it be easy? Is block diagram easy to understand or a big book? Block diagram. Now you understood in a high level way. But if you look at here, you don't know what is the logic to segregate the data. Do you know what formula should be used? Based on what product is purchased, our software should analyze and record the transaction in respective server. What is the logic now? Tell me. I'm asking you only question. What should be the logic? Don't know? Right now you have understood only in what? High level manner. Right? High level manner doesn't explain the logic. What I am interested in now is the logic used to segregate the data, logic used to generate the graph. Right? Now what is that logic? Okay, let me give you a very simple analogy. I hope you remember your lab examinations. C programming. Most of you people would have had that. How you prepared for that? Let me tell you. At home, right, there's a syllabus copy for lab separately. 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, right, all programs. Start first by hearting the program. Correct? You'll nicely by heart the full program first. That's the very first thing you're going to do. What's the very first thing you'll do? By heart the full program. After by hearting the program, write and practice. Capital SR, small letter SR, by heart. Practice by writing. Then type. Yes, but typing execution will not happen. Yes. Now, next day, lab examination. You're all standing in the queue. Two lecturers sitting there on the table. Lucky dip will start now. Have you noticed that? Right? Usually lucky dip what? Starts there. Now what exactly you do in lucky dip now? Look at that here. They will shuffle the chits and throw it on the table. You'll cross your finger. Lord, give me only those programs which I by hearted. Right? If you give me those programs, I will give you 500. You bribe God only, right? That's what we do it, right? Every time I notice, like, people, they go to the temple, they do like this, they do like this, they do like this, everything they do. 1 minute, hold on. Right. Now, everything they do it, then after that they say, God, keep 500 rupees, do good for me. Yes? Correct or not? Correct. Right? Now, please understand, you ideally prayed the God, now you picked up the chit, you got the program which you did not by heart. Next what? Plan B. Micro Xerox chit. Small Xerox chits you have done, and now what will happen? There is a rule in the lab examination. You cannot directly type. You have to first write the program and then type and execute. Correct? Yes or no? Now see what you guys will do. Right? You will go ahead, take the sheet of paper, write whatever you by hearted, you'll write down. After writing down, go to the lecturer. Ma'am, program. Lecturer will look at the program. And after lecturer looks at the program, lecturer will tell, useless fellow, program you have written down, where is the algorithm? Now you don't know algorithm, 5 marks. Right algorithm? Beautiful. Look at that. Already you guys have developed the program, then you are thinking about logic. What should be the logic? Because algorithm is logic. And what you're doing, you develop the software, then you're thinking, what should be the logic? Isn't it great that you completed your degree like this? It is as good as you constructed the house, then you are thinking, should I buy the site? First, algorithm is logic. First logic, then convert that logic into program. You're not doing that. First program, then logic. Yes, no. I'm sure most of the people would have done this. Now, what is algorithm if you ask me? We specify what all formula we require to build the software. For example, add two numbers. You're going to write the algorithm. Step 1, create 3 variables, A, B and C. Next step, initialize variable A to 10, variable B to 20, then the formula C is equal to A plus B, print the value of C. That logic what you have got now is the one going to be converted into what? Program. Similarly, whatever I'm talking out here, guys, please concentrate. I require the logic to segregate that data. And that logic what I'll build here to segregate the data is called as low level design. In college days, we used to call this as what? Algorithm or pseudocode. That's what people used to call algorithm or pseudocode. But now when you join companies, we call that as LLD, low level design, which means now the things are simple. Technical architect will come up with block diagram to explain the developers project flow in a high level way. That is HLD. Once you understand the project flow, then the technical architect will come up with low level design. Yes, looking at that low level design, then what you will do? Start writing down the code which is done by the developer. Did you get this, guys, now? Yes, for sure. Clear or not clear, or all clear? All clear? Please understand, very simple and straightforward, right? High level design is a block diagram representation of project flow. Low level design is the logic which we are going to convert it into a program. Purpose of design is to make Dabba developers understand what kind of software needs to be developed. Did you get it, Dabba fellows? Yes? Sure? Let's make a note of this then. Write down. That was a continuation of your waterfall model. Write down, everybody. Firstly, design hyphen hyphen. The main purpose of design, the main purpose of design is to make developers understand. The main purpose of design is to make developers understand what kind of software needs to be developed. What kind of software needs to be what? Developed. Next point. There are two types of design. There are two types of design. First one, high level design. There are two types of design. First one, high level design. In the bracket write HLD hyphen. It is block diagram representation. It is block diagram representation of project flow. It is block diagram representation of what? Project flow. Did you get this till here? What is it? Block diagram representation of project flow. Is that clear till here? Yes? Example. Please write this down, what you see here on the projector. Please write that down. Alright, write this down. Alright, write down. The next thing. Low level design hyphen. Low level design hyphen. It is algorithm or pseudocode. It is algorithm or what? Pseudocode. I hope like you're clear with this. Now let's proceed further. Now one thing is clear. Why should I come up with design? To make developers understand about the software with clarity. So rather than giving them a requirement, I'll come up with what? Design. That gives more clarity, right? Yes. So now look at that. Requirement collection, feasibility study, design, coding, testing. Once testing is done, it's a quality software. Then we are going to, once we install, people like you and me will start using it. But what is that we need to understand here, guys? What is this maintenance? Because we see many people telling that I'm working in maintenance project. Have you heard that? People working in IT companies, when you ask them what project you're working on, they tell I'm working on maintenance project. What is this maintenance project? What do you mean by maintenance? Let's understand that. So I'm going to give you again a very simple analogy. As you know, all my explanations goes as story. You listen to story, preparation happens in class only. You need not even go home and open the book. Right? So listen to the story now. Imagine one of the guy, he decided to buy a new bike. He decided to buy what? A new bike. He went ahead, purchased the bike. After purchasing the bike, very first thing, right? The very first thing what he will do is he will go to his girlfriend's house. He wants to now show off, right? He'll go to his girlfriend's house now. And now, okay, he will call the girlfriend. Hello, come down. Girlfriend came down. Girlfriend is asking, whose bike? Mine. New one. Purchased it just now. New bike. This guy now says, the girl, sit down. The girl is asking, where you are going? Sit down. No question. Sit down. Right? He started the bike, they're going. Girlfriend already started complaining. It is so hot. I did not even apply sunscreen lotion. I'm getting tanned. Girl started complaining. This boy is not bothered. Riding the bike. They going on the highway. Like how you notice our BTM layout road. Early morning when you're driving. When I look out of my car, I see only terrorists there. All the girls will wrap their face with a cloth. Only eyes is visible. They look so scary, you know. Midnight, if they are roaming like this, no, full crime will come to nil. Just give them one sword in their hand. And how they rap, you should see like mummy. How they breathe, I don't know. Full like, nose, everything, only eyes visible. And they'll be crossing the road like this. It looks like some mummy wrapped into what? A cloth. You need not even watch this Conjuring 2. It's more scarier than that. Now, this girl also did the same thing. She was on the bike. She picked up a big cloth, wrapped her face. And these people are on the highway now. Who? The girl and the, how can only boy be there? Both are there on the highway, both are supposed to be. But wait, not boy and girl. 3 people are there. I said people. Right? Boy, right? Girl, and our son uncle. Son, directly falling on the head. These people are going. Bike stopped. Girl full angry. What is this? What kind of bike you have purchased? Useless fellow. Just now purchased, already stopped. I don't know in future what will happen if I'm with you. No planning at all. Horrible fellow. Started lecture. Right? This boy got down from the bike. He's telling girl, get down. Girl is not ready to get down. And no, I'm not going to get down. Boy is holding the bike. He's telling, please get down. Not ready to get down. What to do now? Papa boy pushed that bike along with the girl. After 2 hours, dropped her home. Now this boy, after dropping her home, he takes a bike, goes to the service center. And he tells, boss, morning I purchased bike, now not working. What if the service engineer says, morning it was working, right? Now not working. What can I do? Get lost. If you get a maintenance support like this, how do you feel? Do you think you can do business in the market if after sales support is like this? Whether it's a bike or whether it's a software. After you give it to customer, maintaining is important. What do you mean by that? Central came and told, hey, I want one billing software. Said, fine, I will give you one billing software. I developed one billing software. I gave it to what? Central. 6 months later, Central came to me. Hey, software not working. 6 months back it was working right. Now not working. Get lost. You cannot do this. Even after the software is developed, while my customer is using that software and there are any issues in the software, that is a defect in the software is not working, enhancements to be done, then I have to take care of that by calling it as maintenance. In maintenance, I resolve the issues encountered by my customer. Point number one to be noted, my lord. Getting it? What is point number one? While my customer is using a software, any issues, I will resolve that in what? Maintenance. Point number two, if there are any changes required in software, because I cannot use the same software years together, I have to keep modifying it to stay competitive in the market. Any modifications required in the software, then I am going to do that ideally inside what? Maintenance project. Did you get this now? Once you stop the maintenance, it means software is no longer in use. When do we stop the maintenance? When the software is ideally no longer in use, we stop the maintenance of software. And once maintenance phase stops, which means we have reached end of life, or we call that as sunset of software. Like IE6. Do you see Internet Explorer 6 anymore? It stopped. The latest websites it doesn't support. You try to open up your latest websites in IE6, it will not work properly. Windows XP, I can tell, maintenance also stopped. End of life or sunset. Did you get this now? Yes, no? Look at that now, how nicely we can explain in the interview this whole process. What is waterfall model? You can give your dabba internet answer. It's like flowing water. It resembles waterfall. Waterfall model, give me offer letter. One way of answering. Another way of answering. What is waterfall model? Well, here development of software is carried out in a sequential manner. Waterfall model consists of the following phases. The very first phase is requirement collection, where our business analyst gathers the requirement from the customer to understand what all features needs to be developed. Once the whole requirement has been gathered, then we analyze that requirement. Is it feasible to develop from technology point of view? Is it feasible from resources point of view? Is it practically feasible from finances point of view? We analyze in what? Feasibility study. As I said yesterday. Once the feasibility study is done, then we come up with the design with the help of technical architect and senior developer. In design, there are two classifications, high level design, low level design. Purpose of high level design is to make developers understand the project flow, but we don't explain the project logic out here. To know the project logic, we come up with low level design, or many people call that as pseudocode or algorithm. Once the design is ready, looking at the design of developers, they will start writing down the code. Once the whole coding is done, right, we test that. If there is any mistake in the software, we will go back, tell the developer, chi chi, tu, mistake. They will fix it, again you will test it. Everything is fine, then we install the software so that my customer can use the software in his business. While my customer is using the software, if he encounters any problem, right, then I'm going to resolve that in what? Maintenance fees. Not only that, in maintenance, we also do enhancements of the software to make sure that the software has got all the required features as per the current market requirement. I'm going to stop maintaining the software once I know that the software is outdated. Once I end the maintenance phase, that's the end of waterfall model, which we call it as end of life or sunset of software has happened. You see the answer now? What answer you were giving? What is software testing? Testing the software. Right? What is static testing? Yes, I know. Testing in static way. Static testing. What is dynamic testing? Dynamically testing. Use this fellow, jump off from that window, go. Right? Answering like this, you expect offer letters. Some of the resumes I was seeing there, how horribly it is prepared. You know what people have put there in that resume? Got first place in running race. Tell me, if you are good at running, how it will help me in IT company? And one thing was quite shocking. It was few batches back. A girl came up with a resume. Sir, my resume. I'm looking at that resume. And what I see in that resume, won first place in Mehendi competition. I don't know what to tell. Mehendi competition first place. Very good. How this will help me in the ID company? Is this the way you prepare resume? Design. Mehendi design. They do it in Jayanagar, 4th block, footpath. Whenever I drive outside, all the girls will be sitting like this, keeping their hand. Small chairs on the footpath they do. Use this fellow. Preparing resume has to be what? Done very carefully. Because 90% of the questions will come from resume. Which you don't apply your common sense. Because common sense is not common. Have you seen that? Questions, you know how HR they asked? After your first round, in technical round, they look at your resume. Oh, you know .NET also, huh? Oh, you know Hadoop also. Oh, you know SQL. You know Java. You know C. You know C++. You know testing also. Right? When question is asked, you don't know anything. You can be skillful with one particular subject. You cannot specify like this in the resume and okay, put a stone on your leg. Because people are thinking I'll specify all, I will get a call. Then it will happen like this. BPO call, call centers, marketing. Yes, no. Did you get this now? Let's proceed further. What did you get it? That's for us. Suddenly woke up and telling yes, sir. Right on quickly. Maintenance hyphen. In maintenance, we do the following things. In maintenance, we do the following things. In maintenance, we do the following things. First one. Point number one. Resolve the issues. Resolve the issues encountered. Resolve the issues encountered by the customer. And one more thing I want to warn you. Do not write the notes while I am speaking in the class and explaining. Because what you guys you will do, I'll tell you. You will start writing in your own words and form a horrible definition and sentences. Then you speak that in the interview. And when they ask who taught you, you will spoil my name. Right? So never write down until and unless I am giving notes. When I give, only that time you have to write down. Don't write it on your own. Okay? Please manage this particular thing. Because I've been seeing people writing it when I'm telling. Okay? Don't do it. Please write down. The next point. Resolve the issues encountered by my customer. Resolve the issues encountered by my customer. Point number 2, enhancements. Point number 2, what is that? Enhancements. Did you get it now? What do you mean by enhancements? Remove old features, add new features to stay competitive in the market. Let's proceed further now. Yes? Okay. Now, with this, we got to know what is waterfall model. But still, we need to understand what are the drawbacks and what are the advantages. Because if you look at waterfall model, ideally it has stopped in the market. But in interviews they'll ask. Because in interview anything they can ask. And we have to be prepared with everything. Correct. So why did waterfall model stop? Let's see that now. Okay. Now drawback number 1. Right? Testing does not start at early stage and hence there is downward flow of defect. Did not understand anything. Yes or no? Yes sir? Okay, let me explain like this now. Imagine our business analyst last night. What? Huh? Not tea coffee, you this fella. Original only. Our Madhuloka next to next building. Ideally, this guy nicely partied in the night. Next day morning also. You know very well. Other than studies, you will do everything. Right? Hangover. Right? He's feeling very tipsy. He now went there to the customer to gather requirement. Look at that. Last night party, next day morning also not proper. Went there to gather requirement now. Now customer is giving him the requirement. See what our useless fellow BA does now. Customer said, I require one talking cow. What I require? Talking cow. Which should be green in color. Which should jump, run, bite and sit down. Who is selling this? Customer. Look at our BA. He has written down by mistake, customer wants one talking donkey. And customer doesn't even know that this has happened. Right? Customer wanted cow. Useless fellow has written down customer wants donkey. After gathering requirement, at least you should cross check, right? Hey customer, I have taken requirement like this. Okay, he's not asking at all. He gathered incorrect requirement, went back, started with development. Requirement only gathered incorrect. You are not testing that at all. Right? That incorrect requirement, which means defect is here itself. Yes, defective requirement, you are doing feasibility study. Everybody are discussing how to build donkey. How can we construct a donkey? Yes or no? Feeling sleepy? Come here. I will jump twice on you. Permanent death I will give you. What is the point? You cannot get job. You cannot do anything in your life. You cannot learn. Then come sleep. Twice I will jump. I will give you nice death. Photo frame free from my side. And I've got people who will maintain. In our US branch also I'll put it. It will become popular. Sandalwood frame with 2 agarbattis from my side free. Everyday cleaning also will get it done. Do you take anesthesia and come here? Looking at the board. At least I'll train you well or I will kill you well. Either way, decide one. Okay, let's select one. Select one quickly. First finger, second finger. Oh, you're all safe today. Leave it. Come back here quickly now. Look at that. Requirement gathered itself is incorrect, which means there's a defect in requirement. That defect automatically flows downward in feasibility study. Customer doesn't even know this is happening. Customer is kept on paying money. Right? Defective requirement, right, leads to defective design automatically, which means one defect is flowing down. Looking at defective design, you wrote the code. After coding done, right, almost 8 months over. Meanwhile, customer kept on paying money, thinking that after 8 months, I'll get the software, which I can use it in my business and I can improve my business. Customer is waiting. 8 months later, you call the customer. Hey, customer, come here. Come here. Stand here. Look at the projector. I'll give you the demo. Moment customer looked at the software, on small attack. Right? Why attack? 8 months he was thinking he will get talking cow. After 8 months, what he got? Why did this happen? Because you gathered the requirement, you did not test. That's what is the meaning. Testing does not start at early stage. And if you don't test early, defect will flow downward. Did you get the drawback number one? Yes, no. Does it make sense? Will you ever forget this drawback? No. At least story, cow and donkey will remember. But don't tell this example in interview. Got it now? Okay. What is the drawback number two? Requirement changes cannot be handled. Did not understand? Okay. Again, let me get down to your level. Now, please understand, Airtel went ahead and gave a requirement to Wipro. I said, Wipro, hey Wipro, you know what? I require one billing software for prepaid account. Who's selling this? Airtel. To whom? Wipro. I require one prepaid billing software wherein if the customer speaks for 30 seconds, 1 rupee should be detected. And sitting next to boy, don't talk. It's not legal in India. You know, boy cannot get married to boy. So impressing a boy, waste of time. Sitting next to boy, going putting shoe. You this fellow. They separate room, go. Oh, so impressing boy there. Girl, boy sitting together, I will not separate you. Boy, sitting together, pakka murder from my hand, I'm telling you. What is there to talk? Today I see people, two boys on the bike, they hug like this and sit. Can't even see that. Useless fellow, seriously. You will be watching out of the car, and chin will be like this on the shoulder, and they'll be talking. Boy, girl sitting like that, no disturbance. We should not disturb. Boy sitting like this, we should kick them. Yes or no? Yes or no? Especially in India, right? Not what allowed. In US, I cannot control. If it happens there, right, I cannot control because there you have got like separate places only like this. Leave it now. Come. Okay, come back. Now, Airtel gave the requirement, I require one billing software. Who's giving this requirement? Airtel. And the billing software should work like this. You speak for 30 seconds, deduct 1 rupee. You speak for 59 seconds, automatically add 2 rupees. Sorry, 2 seconds. Make it 2 minutes, deduct 2 rupees. You try to give missed call, deduct 1 rupee. Right? Who is giving this requirement? Airtel. Our Wipro fellows took the requirement, feasibility study done, designing done, 75% of coding also done. Suddenly, our Tata Docomo came in market. Right? Now look at that. Tata Docomo, what they are doing now? Why 1 rupee per minute? 1 paisa per second, 1 paisa per second. Started. Pay only that much. How much you talk? 15 seconds, 15 paisa. 1 second, 1 paisa. Who is doing this? Now, moment people see this offer, they are jumping and taking what? Tata Docomo cards. Airtel is full tensed up. Yo, I'm losing business. I don't even have the software to implement this. Right? The software right now calculates 1 rupee per minute. But now my competitor is giving what? 1 paisa per second. Now what? Airtel goes back to Wipro, says Wipro, hey Wipro, listen no, please. You know what? Earlier I gave you requirement, right? Please change no. This fellow from Wipro replies, I will change. But when I make modification, quality will be gone. This guy, Airtel guy says, boss, quality secondary. Right? You're talking about quality. My business is going here. Let's not talk about quality now. Modify. This guy started modifying. Requirement is overwriting requirement, overwriting design, overwriting code. 85% of coding done. Now Uninor came in market. Why 1 paisa? Half paisa per second. Half paisa per second. Again requirement change. Again modify software. Software will be dhamar, gone. Boss, problem with waterfall model is once software develop, modifications is very difficult. Because when we modify, we overwrite. And when we overwrite, we compromise with quality. Did you get this now? Yes or no? Sure? Did you get the two drawbacks now? Write down then. Quickly. Write down. Drawback number one is testing does not start at early stage. Testing does not start at early stage, and hence there is easy downward flow of the defect. Testing does not start at the early stage, and hence there is easy downward flow of the defect. Easy downward flow of what? Defect. Did you get this now? Yes. Next. Second drawback. Requirement changes cannot be handled. Requirement changes cannot be handled easily. Requirement changes cannot be handled easily. Is that clear? So requirement changes cannot be handled easily. Because of this, waterfall model is outdated. Did you get this now? Let's move on to advantage then. What is advantage? This process is very simple and very easy to use. One of the very simple process to implement. And that's one of the advantage of what? Waterfall model. Did you get this guys now? Yes. So please make a note of it then. Write down advantage. It is very easy to implement. It is very easy to what? Implement. It is very easy to implement. Now see what all questions they might ask on this topic. Question number one. What is waterfall model? You can answer that. Definition. Draw the diagram on sheet of paper and then explain. Make that as a habit. Okay? And that will help you to grab the attention of your interviewer. Rather than sitting there, what is waterfall model? Your software is developed in a sequential manner. It consists of, no. Definition, take a sheet of paper, write, explain. That should be the approach. Then talk about advantages, disadvantages, keep quiet. Minimum 15 minutes you can speak. And that will create a benchmark. Compared to other freshers, the way you're answering, differences has started. Did you get this now? Second way of asking question. What kind of projects waterfall model should be used? Tell me quickly. What kind of project waterfall model should be what? Used. Tell me. I'm asking you only question. Huh? Small project. Useless fellow. Question is for you only. Tell me what kind of project waterfall model best suitable. Servisa, Banco, you are gone. Super duper unemployed. Look at here quickly. Waterfall model is best suitable when you know that the requirement changes are negligible. You cannot say no requirement change. Practically, how is that possible? Like some dabba fellows, they tell 100% placement. How? 100% how? Tell me. If you speak what I'm training, then 100%. I train you something, questions are same, answers are different from your side, then how 100%? Yes or no? I should also work. You should also work. Calls guarantee, yeah? Yeah, that is guarantee. You ask me about giving interview calls, guarantee. Questions, guarantee. Answers, not guarantee. Right? Yes or no? Right? So let's write down quickly. Waterfall model is best suitable. Waterfall model is best suitable for those projects. Waterfall model is best suitable for those projects where requirement changes are negligible. Waterfall model is best suitable for those projects where requirement changes are negligible. Did you get this now? With this, we are done with the first process called as waterfall. Okay, right? Clear with this?